Alright, okay. Today is Monday the 21st. So, not a bad day. I was up around 500 this morning, then took a bit of a loss down to about 393, about 400. So, what I'm going to do is talk a little bit about my change to NQ and ES from micro NQ and micro ES. Talk about the trade I made, or trades I made, and we'll go over the draw for tomorrow. So, it was over here. So the first trade was, so market opened up here 8, so I traded in the morning 8 till 10 and then 2 till 4. And yeah, so it came down. I was maybe expecting this sell side to be the draw as well, which then we took later on, but I actually caught a long here. So sell side taken and the 15-minute fair value gap. That's the first thing I need. I need a sweep of liquidity. Excuse me, a sweep of liquidity and bouncing off a higher time frame fair value gap. Okay, so I see this, bang, sweep. Notice how we didn't sweep this sell side though, so I'm a little bit wary. I'm like, okay, are we gonna continue dropping? Fucking cough, bro. Are we continue dropping or we get more structure? Sell side swept. Then I was thinking, right, if we get an internal sweep, I feel like we're just gonna go run to sell side. So I didn't need an internal sweep here because I thought it doesn't really matter. Next thing I need a clear market structure shift. Which we get right here. Big displacement up, just so many closures above the high where I'm confident now that this becomes the draw, this buy side level. Now, if price would have just ran straight to buy side, no trade. That's way too efficient for my price model. So we come down, and now initially, I like this tiny little inverse here. And I was like, oh, if we run through this, we might just go to buy side. So I actually jumped in a few positions. And then we came down, tagged it, and then we came below it, then we went above it, and I was like, okay, this is way too choppy, not efficient, I would want this to hold. So I took it off, maybe about $20 loss. Excuse me. Which is pretty good, as we came and ran through it, and I would have got stopped out about $200. And then I was expecting this 1 minute here. So we have a couple 1 minute here, which is the one which held in line with the 15-minute. Again, sweeping liquidity. So I'd class this as like an internal kind of like turtle soup. I don't think that was an SMT, but I'm going to class it as turtle soup here. And we generated another high. So we have buy side that I want to take. We've had the model, which is the sell side, bigger time frame, market structure shift. Retracing down to an area I expect to reject. At this point, I then zoomed in. So in there, I expect to reject. Back also touching the 15. Swipe sell side, and again, I'm looking for the same thing on a smaller time frame. Market structure shift, etc. Here's our market structure shift. Here's sell side, bouncing off a bigger time frame. So it's a smaller model in a bigger model. I enter my first lot of contracts just when we break it here. And then I scale in when we come down, have a sweep here. I scale in more positions, riding up to buy side, which was just created, and there's also equal highs here. So just this area was my first TP, and then my full TP here. Now the reason I'm changing to normal NQ instead of micro is look at this shit volume here. There's absolutely no volume here. That's why the candles are forming a bit scuffed. So if I was to trade this model on the micro NQ, this probably would have been $100 to $150 win, maybe even less than that. And I wouldn't even been risking enough. I would have been risking maybe $50, which isn't enough risk for the reward. As in, it's kind of no point me taking the trade. Yes, I can still make money off it, but the same algorithm's going to happen on bigger NQ as well. So why would I not take it on that instead of micro? And I can capitalize on the amount of money. In my journal, actually, because it's my first time kind of trading it, I actually was risking like $350 when I initially opened my position, because I couldn't put my stop all the way down here. So I was like, yo, I'm gonna have to manage this. So I think I had my stop here, and we never came back to it anyway. But so I need to be a bit wary going into this week on using proper NQ and proper ES, because it is going to inflate my risk a lot. So I could be potentially seeing bigger losing days, but also bigger winning days. So I know my risk, I know my model. I'm not going to pass about the fucking amount of money, because I don't care about the money, I care about the model. So models, not money. That's what you should focus on, because if you start looking at the money, that's just going to pass you. Like, just focus on the chart and what the chart's showing, then do outcome. So if anything, I might actually change it away from money and more to I don't know how to do it, but I might change it to ticks or percentage. So that was the first trade. The second trade was a PM, my PM trade, which was, fuck, I just deleted all my drawings. It was here. Buy side swept. Had this SMT. I didn't really like the structure, but here's your market structure shift. And then we never pulled back to anything, so I didn't take a short here. Came all the way down, and I think it was, I got booped out. I ended up taking a long, yeah, it was around here. So we had this 5 minute fair value gap holding. Notice that all the wicks are doing the damage. Now this is a clear mistake I made, and definitely one for the journal. This would be my market structure shift here. Market structure shift, pull back, and then we target maybe the high. I was way too zoomed in, and I took, so we're holding this 5, holding the 5, I took this as a market structure shift, because you displaced above it, came down, displaced above it again, so I was expecting this pullback, holding this fair value gap, to then go seek buy side here, and then potentially this buy side. Now, the reason this doesn't work is because this 15-second model should be used inside another model. So this high should have been displaced through first on like a 1 minute or a 5 minute. Then when we come back to an area, then zoom into the 15-second. This is way too zoomed in for where we are in time. And I wasn't paying attention to the bigger time frame. The draw is this low. This 5, yes, this 5 minute fair value gap's nice, but it was seriously bearish right now, and ES was at this time extremely bearish. So I think my draw was a bit wrong. What was my actual trade here? Because it wasn't a huge loss, to be fair. I think I only used one contract. I was up so much from this morning, I didn't want to give too much away anyway, but red mark structure shift, came back to an area I expect to reject. Holding for value gap displacement, I think I had a long here. Stop at the low, targeting first TP, second TP. Came down, stopped me out, and then just kind of chopped. In my defense, I do think this is just inefficient price action. We have held this 1 minute, came up, technically broken through this. Sorry, 15-second. But yeah, nothing to defend myself. Not a great trade. This is the market structure shift here. So what have I taken away from this? I'm not going to use 15-second market structure shifts like that. I'm going to use the 15-second for the execution, for the absolute pinpoint of the trade. This needs to get displaced through. The fact it didn't, it's obvious that we're going to sell off. And then we even created a fat 1 minute, which then got tagged, then ran off to the sell side. So, yeah. Rules, habits. 1 trade in the morning, 1 trade in the PM. That's rule number 1. That's well done. Did I over leverage? Well, kind of over leveraged in the morning. I did risk more than. Well, I'm going to change my parameters of over leverage because I think I'm going to have bigger loss days, but I'm having bigger win days. The ratio is still fine, so it's not technically over leveraged for what I'm getting out of it. But that's still something I need to journal and work out how I'm gonna quantify that. Did I over trade? No. 2 trades. Didn't over leverage in my opinion, and I followed 1 good model in the morning, not a good model in the PM. So something to work on is, I'm trying to be super picky because I only have 2 trades in the whole day. So the 1 trade in the whole session. So I can't be taking bullshit like this. Bouncing off for 15 seconds, like it's way too zoomed in. But no, that was the day. Let's now look at the draw going into tomorrow. Starting off with a regular NQ. On the 4 hour here. Holding this 4 hour fair value gap. There's buy side. Tagging it again. The fact this is holding and wicking like that. Yeah, I'm in a bit of a scuffed area. Because we're actually in an embedded 4 hour, so we're kind of bouncing between PD arrays right now. We've obviously swept this buy side. Here is my sell side. We have equal lows here. Holding this 4 hour, holding this hour, pushing up. I believe the draw to be higher. That's the market, market open. So what I want to see targeting buy side, some sort of manipulation, potentially at this low here. With an embedded 15 minute. Or potentially, depending on what happens to the overnight session, sweeping this low and into this 15 minute. So my draw is higher. I do want to just take into account. Actually, there were so many SMTs today that it was so fucking scuffed. CES on the other hand, buy side taken. Buy side taken, coming down. It's looking like potentially this is the sell side, although we are holding this 4 hour, zooming in. Oh no, this looks bullish. Swipe sell side. Tagging the 4 hour. I'd like to see a buy model come up, so I'd really be liking to see this hourly get displaced above, and then my target would be this high, and then those highs. Let's check news. I can't trade PM tomorrow anyway because I've got a workshop. But in the morning I can trade, so we'll see what happens in the morning. me see. We could potentially hold this, swipe sell side, and then reverse, but I'm not sure how likely that is. And there's the 50-minute there. So yeah, I'd like to see the draw be higher. Those are my trades made today. Those are the reasons I'm changing from micros to normal size. Excuse me. And yeah, that's a strong start to the week. Let's keep it up. Let's not be silly here. And yeah, I'm potentially gonna be releasing a TikTok after this video. I'm not too sure. I want to start posting TikToks and getting on the TikTok game. So we'll see. If I do, I'll potentially tag it. Probably won't though, realistically. As in, I won't tag it. I probably will make a TikTok. But alright, that's everything covered. Starting off the Monday strong. I don't want to be faffing about on a no news Monday. Yeah, let's see what happens tomorrow and let's see what price gives us.